Now, a woman who dies, in the course of labor or giving birth to a baby, does not stop other women from getting pregnant.
Exactly.
Remember. Good. Now, that is why I said that you must get adequate information. If you want to travel abroad, you must get adequate information. Even if you want to go through the jungle, you must get the right source, the right procedure to go through the jungle.
Welcome to yet another exciting edition of your favorite show on the Global Migrant Diaries, where we're going to be talking about traveling abroad, leaving your home of origin in order to fetch greener pastures abroad. My name is Anyam Yvette, and I'm going to be coordinating the two-sided show today, where we're having two amazing ladies and two gentlemen that are going to be following up with the discussions for today. Stay tuned. When we come back after this break, we shall be getting to know them, and why not engage in the discussion. We shall be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. On my left, we have beautiful ladies. Maybe you have us introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Erica Tewa, and I'll be talking against traveling abroad for greener pastures.
Besides Erica Tewa, you equally have, I love your skin color. Maybe you equally do us.
Thank you. I am Aze Ernestine, and I will be speaking against the idea of traveling abroad.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, those are the powerful ladies that are going to be, keeping us blue. And on my right, we have, gentlemen too. Okay.
All right. My name is Tipon Brian Tekum, but you might want to call me Mr. T because I'm an influencer. I'm an actor. I mean a whole lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm called from Gansita. I'm a businessman and a movie director.
Those are the panelists on board the program today, and we're going to be diving straight away into our discussions. I'm going to begin with the gentleman on the show. You are supporting the idea of traveling abroad, fondly called bush falling. What is your reason of supporting that?
Of course, I would like to say for sure that bush falling, as you call it, is a must for everyone as long as you have the means and the right channel, the right direction. It is a must and a plus for you to go out.
Okay, I love the word plus. So maybe your brother has a colleague, has the contrary.
Of course. The number one reason, you need to first of all ask yourself why you're traveling abroad.
Okay.
And because if you don't know the reason why you're traveling abroad, then you should just be traveling abroad. All right. I'm for people traveling abroad. All right. We travel abroad for greener pastures. We travel abroad to hustle. You understand?
Okay.
And that's the main reason why most of us travel abroad.
Oh, so when you talk about greener pastures, what do you actually imply?
Okay, greener pastures. I'm talking about going to hustle for bigger opportunities.
Okay.
Yes, because we understand the level of our nation right now, especially here in Bamenda. We see how things are going, and I feel like it's advisable for young people to travel, to go and hustle, to have better opportunities. If you ask my reason for that, I would say number one, I have many reasons, but I'm going to give you, let me just say maybe just two.
Okay.
Number one, what is the minimum wage of a salary for a Cameroonian? I should be at most 30,000. And considering what is happening here in the Northwest and the Southwest, I think is a better reason for us to travel. Okay?
Okay. Alright, I'm going to come back to you guys. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move over to the ladies on the table that are strongly against traveling abroad. So, maybe you share us with your reasons.
I personally will not advise the youth in particular to travel abroad because, when you leave your home country to settle abroad or maybe greener pastures, as you said, or you leave your own home country underdeveloped, that is, you contribute very little or nothing to the economic growth of your own home country. So I would really say it's better you stay home, do your research and see how you can contribute in the development of your own country. Those people out there, the developed countries, they actually worked in their own country to make it what it is today. So you don't expect another person to come to your own country and fix it.
You recommend staying here and developing your country by whatever means. Thank you very much, Madam Erica.
I'll also contradict what Mr. T said when he said traveling abroad is a must. It cannot be a must because everyone cannot travel abroad. If you're traveling abroad, who then will stay here to work for you, as my colleague rightly said? And Mr. Zitani also mentioned that you travel abroad for greener pastures. What makes you think the pastures are actually green on the other side of the world? It might not even meet up to your expectations. So it's better you stay here and work for your greener pastures.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you're still there. And a song singer said, the grass is green when you water the grass, not when you move to the other side. But we are coming back to you, your team, Mr. T. You are for traveling abroad. Do you have some concrete examples of maybe individuals who traveled abroad, who, went for greener pastures, like your colleague said, and actually came back, or succeeded in the venture?
Of course, I have a host of persons I would like to name, but I wouldn't want to go calling names right here. Now, let's take a very common example here around us all. We have many of the beautiful buildings you see around here. Even in the commercial street, you see a whole lot of them are actually constructed by bush fallers, like you said.
How true is that?
Of course, I would not want to start calling names right here. But if you look at the buildings, if you want to name them. Now, talking about taxis around the streets we have right here, most of our youths are being employed by bush fallers. This is because they've gone out there, made so much money, and then buy those cars and spread them all over the streets for our youths to actually make money for themselves. So I would say it for free without any fear of contradiction that falling bush is a must and a plus, as long as you have a means and the right channel to fall bush.
Danny, you have anything to chip to that?
Of course. I love you when my brother say it's a must. All right, I love his word because he's the kind of person who doesn't like to sugarcoat things.
Okay.
He says it and it should be right. And let me tell you the truth, okay? Traveling abroad is good.
Examples of people who have succeeded?
Okay, I know them too many. I know them too many. Just looking at me, you know that I have somebody that's over there.
Okay, so you're actually depending on...
I didn't say I'm depending, all right? We are trying to quote good examples here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm using myself as an example.
All right.
Okay, I have somebody over there who traveled.
Okay.
But let me put it this way. The person, let me say 3 years ago, we were here in Cameroon fighting on a bowl of cold gari and sugar. All right. What if he never traveled? Today we'll be fighting on a bundle of cocky today. But because he traveled, he's been able to do a lot. All right. He's taking care of a lot of kids, sending to school on scholarships. He has taken care of a lot of other things.
Okay.
As my brother rightly said, you don't need to ask two persons like what he's saying is true. Mama, look at the beautiful houses we have around. Who owns them? The bush fallers. Those who come back from abroad with scholarship for kids. Those who come back, they help our children in the orphanages and places like that. Show me an individual that has actually started here in Cameroon, has never traveled abroad, has no connection abroad, that has actually done something significant in this nation. Show me that single person.
Okay, that will take us back to research. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Now, you people say it is of no essence traveling abroad. Do you have some people who ventured into traveling abroad and never succeeded?
There are a lot of people with testimonies, and even they themselves, they are being honest here. They will testify, and if those your brothers abroad are being honest with you, they will tell you of the deplorable conditions with which they work under. You see, you said your brother does not sugarcoat things, but in your talks, I see you sugarcoating laziness. Because you cannot depend solely on what your brother gives you, the tricks, ways and all, to shine out and think it's because he's doing well for himself there. They suffer a lot. Both the ones you know and the things you don't know, they go through a lot. Some can be honest enough to complain to you, while others will just hide it under the pretext of being abroad and being scared of what people back at home will say. Bearing in mind the huge sums of money they have invested in them, to see the debts they incur to actually cross to the other side, which they think is the brighter side. And talking of the buildings you're citing around, these buildings are being constructed not by the people in those countries, but by us in our country. They still employ our labor, which means that if we employ this workforce which they put out there into our communities, we can equally make it big. You see, when they fall bush, as you say, they don't sleep. They work almost 24/7 to make sure they have these resources that they send to you as remittances for you to brighten up your life and those of other family members and praise them thinking they are doing well. They go through a lot. They don't sleep to have this money. If you're sleeping either abroad or in Cameroon, you will still suffer. So the essence is hard, but don't sugarcoat it.
Madam Ernestine, you got everything that she said. Maybe you know of someone who actually took out time to travel abroad, and as we speak, that individual has never made it.
Well, let me start by contributing, adding to what she said. Okay. If we look at, we have business tycoons in Cameroon, we have people with who are actually very productive, who actually didn't, they are not actually doing what they learned in school. Okay. For example, we have accountants who have become maybe fashion designers and all of that. Now, if you have to travel abroad, maybe you studied accountancy and you went abroad, you now went into nursing because you learned nursing pays better. Why don't you use that energy the energy invested in learning nursing over there to learn trade or maybe learn something crafty that you can do and make some money for yourself? Look at first of Victor and a whole lot of business tycoons in this country. They started from here. First of Victor started with groundnuts. He started selling groundnuts. And because he was patient, persistent, and consistent in his business, it grew.
So let's get a bit more personal now. Let me find out from your team, Mr. T. Currently, we are recording this live show here in Cameroon, Bamenda to be precise, and you're here with us on the show. I don't know, I suppose you have plans of traveling abroad?
Of course I do. I have plans of traveling abroad. And of course, like you know, when you want to travel abroad, the first thing is the passport. Already I have that. And I'm asking questions. I'm working on the strategy because I wouldn't want to go and remain abroad. I intend to travel abroad and come back. I don't intend to travel and stay. So I have to make the right questions and then go abroad, make money, and then come back home and invest. And of course, boost the economy of my own country. So yes to that. I'm making plans towards bush falling.
All right, so in the next 3 or 4 months, we might not have you around this place again.
By the very special grace of God, you are not far from the truth. Yes.
Is it any plans as such?
Okay, please, before I proceed, I want to say something concerning what my colleague on the other side said. I want to believe that she doesn't understand the purpose for traveling abroad. Okay? From the beginning, we said earlier, we made mention of we are traveling abroad because we want to go and work. We want to go and seek better opportunities. All right, we want to go and get hustle for money to come back. All right, we do not hate our nation. All right, for me to leave, for you to leave your parents and to go and rent your own house because you want to be independent. It's not like you hate your parents.
Of course.
Do you understand that? There's a time in life where you need to take a bold step, as in, let me leave my comfort zone and go somewhere else and hustle for bigger opportunities. I'm not saying that Cameroon doesn't have opportunity. We have opportunities here in Cameroon, true, but those opportunities are limited. All right, but now we have a place where we can get better opportunities. Why wouldn't I advise my brother to travel abroad for those bigger opportunities? Why? You tell me why.
Well, you will not advise your brother as such because Rome was not built in a day. If all of us are traveling, then who are you coming back to invest for? Obviously, you have to go and settle in there, and the land there is also limited. The land is limited by nature. Eventually, it will get filled up of persons from, if like hundreds of us are traveling from one African country, calculate the number of African countries we have. At the end of the day, there will be no space in the white man's land to contain us, and we'll have no choice but to fall back here and develop ourselves. So why not start now? Why wait for the days you'll be embarrassed enough to be sent out, to be chased out, to come develop your own place? Think of it.
And again, you talk like it is only those who travel abroad can actually invest in Cameroon. There are people who invest from scratch. They invest from the very little they have, and they turn to employ.
Please, let me go back to point another person aside of
do you know the number of people he has actually employed? Do you know the number of people he has actually employed? Because you buy a taxi or build one cité or however they call it, you think you have really made it. The fun is, who is taking care of that cité? Your mom or your aunt or one cousin or one grand somebody. It doesn't bring the income as.
Let me tell you this.
The point of this issue is that you guys will travel and clean the streets there to make money while your own streets here are dirty. Why not start from here? You will still get paid if you clean streets here.
We do not
pay now and play later. Here. You have to endure now to enjoy tomorrow.
Endure here. You must not enjoy in another person's
You talked about when people go abroad, they are the ones in Cameroon, or the people in Cameroon still build their houses for them. Why can you build a house? Can you be a laborer and maybe put your expertise to work if you do not have the money?
Exactly.
So those who go abroad go to fend for the money. They go to fetch for the money.
So are you saying there is no money
now,
in the economy?
Listen. By they constructing the buildings they have right here, they also in turn employ those youths that are here, lazing about.
Exactly.
They don't lazy about.
They're lazy about.
Wait,
I
want to tell you that is the reason why.
All traveling abroad, leaving behind aging population.
You have to go abroad in order to get money to take care of the aging population.
So
do
what
not
happens to our own
forget.
resources here?
How do we exploit the resources without money?
I think that brings me to the next question I had to pose to you guys. You are strongly against traveling abroad. Yeah. I don't know if you can share with us on this table if the plans that you have making it here in Africa, Cameroon to be precise. I'm not saying that it's impossible to survive here, but I'm just saying in case you have some here. Will you share with us?
Okay, so to begin with, I'm a student. And being a student, I don't rely on studies because that's the mistake most of us make. If I ask here, maybe you have some degrees backed up in your pockets or your closet somewhere that you were depending on those degrees to earn you a job, and now that you don't have that job, you'll be frustrated thinking there is nobody to employ you. We're supposed to think ahead of that. We're supposed to think of possible means of being an employer and not an employee. So I already have plans of finishing studies, and I already have what I would do to earn for myself if I'm not being picked up by maybe the government or an NGO or any organization. And even while in school, I run a small business to ensure that I don't depend on remittances from those abroad. As you do, I work for myself even as a student, and I do so here in Cameroon, and I succeed. Why can't you believe in yourself? You can do it too.
Ernestine, do you have anything to add to what?
Well, being an entertainer, an actress, to be specific, I think I am working towards that. Looking at, let me use Nigeria for example, Nollywood has really contributed a lot in the gross domestic products of Nigeria. And we are looking at how we can develop our own country while in the country. Why don't I put in effort as an actress and contribute in my own little way to bring this? I mean, Nigeria and Nollywood has actually brought like I think 2.3% to their GDP, according to PricewaterhouseCoopers. If we as youth come together, because we still have a lot of unexploited resources in Cameroon. In particular, we have a lot of unexploited stories. Why don't we use these stories and make Cameroon a better country tomorrow, instead of just going out there doing the same thing, nursing, going there being what this and that? Why don't we? Okay, for example, I'm a nurse. When I have a degree in nursing, but now because the jobs in nursing are limited and not well paid, I thought maybe going into acting or just doing filmmaking in general can make me become a better version, a better person tomorrow. I'll be proud to say I make millions a day, a week, or more.
You know, before I come to use it, you are just one amongst many who think that they can actually make a living out of filmmaking, because I think that most young people get into filmmaking just for the fame of it. Many others have not really gotten to that point where they can start, considering the opportunities that filmmaking can bring to them. So I think that is an applause, as you're actually looking forward to using that talent, that craft of yours in order to make it here in Africa. Exactly. And I wish to find out from you, if you were to be given the opportunity to travel abroad, maybe to now co-act with those from Hollywood, and other parts of the world, don't you think that it's also going to sell you?
That is
Before
the
you
business.
answer that, before you answer that, let me explain something to you. I know a whole lot of filmmakers here in Africa, Cameroon to be precise, that are into movies, but they still lobby for money from the bush fallers. Now they need money to make it big. They cannot go anywhere without money. Why? Because Africa is broke economically. So there's why would they? Well, listen, let me tell you. If Africa was rich, if they had the money, why would they want to call my friends? Because they get to me and ask me, Mr. T, get me a contact in bush, and I still go to them to send them for money. Now, if they had money here, they won't want to start stressing or going through the stress of calling bush fallers, like you say, is not good to send the money. So I will tell you until tomorrow that falling bush is a plus and it's a must as long as you have the money and you have the right channels to go.
Thank you very
That
much.
doesn't
Please,
mean I have
please,
to travel abroad before I can get that money. I'm talking
Miss-
about me
Miss-
traveling
Miss-
To
abroad.
make it better.
I'm
To
not
make it
traveling
better.
abroad, but I
To
can
make it
ask
better.
for sponsorship. I can ask you to invest in my film.
To a bush
Not
faller.
necessarily.
All right, please. I'm very happy that she actually made a point very clear.
It's clear.
Helping us to travel more.
Of course.
She made mention of she know that nursing doesn't pay.
Good. You get the point.
I
listen,
never went against that point before.
Listen,
Please,
here.
I
Please.
said.
Okay, guys,
Let me get my point. Let me land with my point. Let me land. Let me land.
Alright?
Let me land.
It's okay.
Let me land.
It's okay. I got your point already.
No, before you finish, please let me land. This point is very crucial.
important.
All right.
Very important.
You said you started with nursing. All right. Now you ventured into acting. Okay. Remember that not everybody has that patience. You have.
Go to and the age.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Listen. We all want to succeed. All right. Looking at maybe 10 meters away from here, you might want to just majestically move to reach there. There's another person that wants to skip. There's another person that wants to fly and reach there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you're still there. We are still on the Global Migrant Diaries, where we are exploring many more other stories of people who get to travel abroad and their experiences. So I'm coming back to your team, Mr. T. You know, annually when we want to carry on the statistics, we realize that thousands and hundreds and millions of young people die every year, you know, in their quest to travel to Europe, the Americas, or greener pastures like you put it. So don't you think that limiting the amount of young people that get to travel annually would actually get to limit the death rate?
Now, a woman who dies, you know, in the course of labor or giving birth to a baby does not stop other women from getting pregnant.
Exactly.
Remember. Good. Now, that is why I said that you must get adequate information. If you want to travel abroad, you must get adequate information. Even if you want to go through the jungle, you must get the right source, the right procedure to go through the jungle. I have even pregnant women who go through the jungle and they still make it successfully. Yeah. Then some die. Why? Because they want to go through the as we say, corner. Do you understand? Now, if you want to go to bush or you want to go to Europe and you need to get there successfully and not die, ask questions. Go through adequate questioning so you get the ideas right and you will not have to die in the jungle or something. Like I said, that I'm going in no moment from now, you will not see me die. I'm definitely going to go to the airport, board a flight to America.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there are no right answers and there are no wrong answers. So we shall be back for the second part of this debate. Stay with us.